Good afternoon, everyone, and thank you for being here on a beautiful day on the Hudson River. It is truly a stunning, stunning spot, and we can see the Tappan Zee Bridge quite clearly. My name is Brian Coneybear. I serve as special advisor to Governor Cuomo on the Tappan Zee Bridge project. You'll hear from some of the folks here on stage in just a few moments, but first I'd like to introduce them to you. Of course, we welcome Governor Andrew Cuomo himself. Next to him, State Senate Majority Leader Dean Skelos. Thank you for being here, sir. On the other side of the governor, his secretary, Larry Schwartz. Rockland Assemblywoman Ellen Jaffee is here. Also with us, Rockland County Executive Scott Vanderhoef. Putnam County Executive MaryEllen Odell. Westchester County Executive Rob Astorino. You will hear from all of them here this afternoon. We also want to welcome Marcia Gordon of the Business Council of Westchester. She is here. And Al Samuels from the Rockland Business Association. Thank you both for all your support. I also want to acknowledge some of the special guests on hand, including New York State Senators David Carlucci, Ruth Hassel Thompson is here, and Andrea Stewart Cousins. We also welcome Assembly members Nancy Calhoun, Robert Castelli, Steve Katz, Shelley Mayer, Gary Pretlow, and Ken Zabrowski. Now, it's no secret to anybody who lives in the Hudson Valley that the Tappan Zee Bridge is broken and flat out needs to be replaced. The Tappan Zee was originally built to last 50 years and accommodate about 100,000 vehicles a day. Well, now it's approaching 57 years of age, and it handles 138,000 cars and trucks daily. It is a traffic nightmare for commuters. Congestion and delays have become the norm for drivers who depend on the bridge daily. New York commuters, small businesses across the Hudson Valley, and more need a new bridge that is both safe and reliable. For over a decade, millions and millions of dollars have been spent on studies and meetings, but ultimately there's been no new bridge. Well, the bottom line is we can't afford to wait any longer. And thankfully, we have a governor with us who is committed to delivering a new Tappan Zee Bridge. Now, you see this desk here. Today, you'll actually see the governor sign a letter requesting federal funding for the Tappan Zee Bridge replacement project after today's unanimous vote of the New York Metropolitan Transportation Council. That is a major step that was taken today. And this allows us to access that funding. You will actually witness the letter being signed here. You're going to hear more about the governor's plan in just a few moments, but right now it's my pleasure to introduce the Rockland County Executive, our host today, Scott Vanderhoef.
Thank you, Brian. Nice to see you here. Thank you all very much for being here. Thank you, Governor, for once again joining us in Rockland County, and Leader Skelos, it's good to have you here. I think it's appropriate to remind everyone that about 174 years ago, right on this spot at this pier, began one of the major capital improvements in New York State history called the Erie Railroad. Began here on Piermont. It ended up in Lake Erie in 1851, one of the great railroads of the entire world at that time. So how fitting it is, therefore, that the governor is here today after the NIMTEC vote this morning to approve of the Tappan Zee Bridge's replacement. I want to thank the governor directly for his involvement, his being in and part of the discussions with the county executives, and with Larry Schwartz, his secretary, who also have been very involved. I mean, what's important here is that this community and the community surrounding the bridge have been involved with the process of what this bridge will look like ultimately and what it will do, including having a dedicated bus lane when it opens that will run from Rockland to Westchester and back and forth on periods of congestion. This is not unimportant, because obviously with any new bridge, transit issues are very important. And the governor should be given great credit, and his office and his team, for talking through the issues of transit, the need for transit in the future, making it transit compatible, so that ultimately this bridge will serve not just Rockland, Westchester, and the region, but all of New York State in a mode that is transit friendly. And I am very pleased to be supportive. We were pleased to vote with NIMTEC. The most important thing from my perspective, other than there are other details we need to learn about the bridge, but the most important thing we need to do now is to convince the federal government that they should give us the loan to help pay for this bridge. And in fact, I would suggest, and I think the governor might agree, that they provide a further investment in this bridge. This is a national bridge. This is a bridge with a United States seal on it from the highway. It is proper that the United States government be involved with its construction and be involved with its investment. So, Governor, thank you very much for your dedicated leadership to replace the Tappan Zee Bridge, to provide ultimately for transit, and for your leadership with us in the county. I also have the duty, before sitting down, to introduce a few other folks who are here. We have our Rockland County Clerk, Paul Piperato. Paul, would you wave? Thank you, Paul. District Attorney of Rockland County, Tom Zugaby. Tom. Chair of the Legislature, Harriet Cornell. I didn't see her, but there she is, Harriet. Tony Earl, Rockland County Legislature, and Aaron Weeder, Rockland County Legislature. We also have a number of our supervisors. Jeff Finn, Supervisor Stony Point. Jeff. Alex Gromack, I saw, Supervisor of Clarkstown. Howard Phillips, Supervisor of Haverstraw. Chris St. Lawrence, Supervisor of the town of Ramapo. Tish Dubois, Village of Nyack's Mayor. Tish, where are you? Okay, South Nyack, rather. We'll make you all the Nyacks. It'll be fine. We have Dagan LaCourte, Village of Suffern Mayor, and Izzy Spitzer, the Deputy Mayor of the Village of New Square. And I did see former Assemblyman, now Mayor Yonkers, Mike Spano over there. Mike, hello. Oh, and Mayor of Spring Valley, Norami Jasmine, stand up. I may have missed other people. If anybody has been left out, Brian Conybeare made the list. You can see him directly after over here on the left.
I'll take the blame.
Again, it's good to have Dean Skelos and Governor here. I'm also pleased to welcome our fellow county executives with whom we work very well. And I'd like now to introduce to you Westchester County Rob Astorino.
Thank you, Scott. Contrary to belief, we did not take the Bear Mountain Bridge to get over here. Those rumors are completely unfounded. We are here today for a very special reason. Something that started a long time ago is reaching the end of the study phase and the beginning of the next phase, which is the most important, and that is actually building a new Tappan Zee Bridge. And today represents, as you see here, a unified commitment from all of us, no matter what party, for our positions to be here for our counties, as Scott just said, for me in Westchester County and MaryEllen Odell for Putnam, and all of our representatives who have worked with the governor, who does deserve a lot of credit for moving this forward from the dead stage to the alive stage where we can actually build a new bridge. And so I thank the governor and his staff for working very closely with us, especially over the last month, where we had to iron out some issues that were important to us in Westchester, and they did. And they've been very cooperative, and we thank them for that. The framework that we reached the other day is important, we believe, with regard to the component for mass transit to set this bridge up for success for multiple generations to come. This is something that will be immediate for people to get back to work, and we sorely need that. It's good for the environment, and it's good, again, to set it up for, as I was saying, and have my son, who is 9 today, my daughter is 7, and my little one is 2. When they start driving, which doesn't seem too far away, I want them to look back, and when they have kids driving over this bridge, I want them to look back and say that their dad and Governor Cuomo and all of us who are working on it today got it right, and I think this will get it right. So I thank the governor and his staff for all of their commitment. It's time now for our federal representatives to get to work. The state is ready to apply for the loan, as The vote was taken today by NIMTEC, a very important vote, and now it's incumbent upon our federal delegation to work as hard as they can to make sure that we get the money that the state needs to help build this bridge. With that, I would like to introduce some of the Westchester folks who are here today, and I apologize if I forget anyone. Please just raise your hand. Westchester District Attorney Janet DeFiore. From the County Board of Legislators, Catherine Borgia, Mary Jane Shimsky, Alfredo Williams, and I believe Virginia Perez just walked in. Am I missing any legislators? Okay. Some of the officials we have, I know Mayor Spano was introduced already. Ernie Davis, the mayor of Mount Vernon. Ron Belmont, the supervisor of Harrison. Warren Lucas from North Salem. Mary Beth Murphy, the supervisor in Somers. Brian Smith, the mayor of Irvington. And Chuck Lesnick, the city council president in Yonkers. I also note former mayor of White Plains, Joe Delfino, is here. So with that, let me introduce County Executive of Putnam, MaryEllen Odell.
Thank you, County Executive. County Executive Vanderhoef and County Executive Astorino both invited me at the last minute on Thursday. I was in Westchester. About 2 hours ago, I was invited here. So I'd like to put upon you next week in my office at 2 o'clock. I'm sure you'll have no problem, right? Correct? And we'll talk about the Bear Mountain Bridge. Kidding. Any of us who paid attention while we were in school learning about American history and the Great Depression all recognize that it was these transportation infrastructure projects that assisted us getting our families back to work and helping get us out of the Great Depression. And that's what the people in Putnam County are counting on through this project. Not only Putnam County, that's not fair to say, in the Hudson Valley region and probably New York State in total. The people of Putnam County are very, very grateful to the governor for recognizing the importance of this project in that respect. It was a very genuine, good faith, I believe, dialogue that existed between the county executives and the governor in the last weeks preceding the NIMTIC vote today. I'd also like to introduce some Putnam elected officials today, but there's only one, and that's my Deputy County Executive, Bruce Walker, who's here. I want to also just close by saying that this is a state project, and it also is a national and federal project. And I'm quite sure that given the tone of hope and good faith that has already been brought forward, that this project will continue in a very successful manner, and the people of Putnam County will be here for whatever the governor does need in moving this project forward. Thank you all. At this time, I'd like to introduce Assemblywoman Jaffee.
I can see you. Well, welcome to Piermont. Is this an incredibly beautiful village? And what a view. I am so proud to be representing this area in the New York State Assembly. And thank you, Governor Cuomo, for your initiative, for your leadership on this important issue. And thank you, of course, County Executive Odell, for the introduction. Today's announcement is a major step in the state's work to end the decade of delay and meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting after meeting over at least 10 years. I have boxes filled with the documents from all of those meetings, and this has plagued this project for so many years. And we are going to move forward now, move forward to build a new bridge. This new bridge will be safer for our drivers, built to last, and ready to handle all future transit options, including a dedicated bus lane on day one. Thank you, Governor, for acknowledging that need. By working together with the governor, the legislature has put in place important measures to get this project off the ground in a way that protects the taxpayer money and ensures that government works efficiently. The Tappan Zee Bridge will be a major economic driver for the communities across the region, creating approximately 45,000 jobs. What an incredible opportunity, 45,000 jobs. Helping so many New Yorkers who were sidelined by the Great Recession, helping them get back to work, and generating economic development opportunities for Rockland, its river villages, and the entire area. So essential at this time. The governor and the legislators throughout this process have worked together with community leaders and stakeholders, holding forums and soliciting public input. Governor Cuomo's office has led a comprehensive outreach effort to help educate, inform the public on this critical issue, as well as giving the area residents the opportunity to weigh in, to share their concerns, to ask the questions that they needed to understand. The new Tappan Zee Bridge outreach team has conducted numerous meetings, interviews, and other events to keep people informed and up to date, and to listen, and so importantly, to incorporate their community concerns into the project as it moves forward. I'm so pleased to be here joining you today and the governor working and moving forward with this wonderful project, getting it done for the people of New York State. Thank you all. It is now my pleasure to introduce Senate Majority Leader Dean Skelos.
Thank you very much, and good afternoon. What a beautiful location. Governor, maybe in 20 years, that could be you and me out there. Wherever your life takes you. I know we're not supposed to talk about those things, but, God willing, we will be able to do that someday and reflect back upon our time in government, that Republicans and Democrats, upstate, city, Long Island, where I come from, were able to communicate and talk to each other and get things done. And this is an example of government working at its best at the state level and at the local level to accomplish something, as prior speakers had mentioned, was not being done, and people were not talking to each other and listening to each other. So, Governor, we salute you for that. And certainly, I believe we have to build this bridge. It means thousands of jobs for the Hudson Valley. It means less congestion when I'm heading to Albany and so many other legislators from the downstate area. It means a better quality of life. It means peace of mind for motorists and their families who travel across this bridge. It means a viable bridge for the next century, and it shows New York, once again, is leading the world. Governor, thank you for listening to local input and for mobilizing support for this important project. We applaud your leadership and your vision of what is possible here in New York. It made all the difference. As we've done in the past, the Senate Republicans stand ready to work with you to turn this state around. In fact, it was the innovative design bill legislation we partnered on this year that has helped move this project forward. It is time to build a new Tappan Zee Bridge, and it's my distinct honor to introduce at this time our Governor, Andrew Cuomo.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Good afternoon to all of you. What a great day this is, huh? The weather, the spot, the progress we're making today. First to Senator Skelos, I thank him very much, and all the Senate colleagues who are here today with us. I thank the Senator for his leadership and his friendship and for his great help in making today a reality. Let's give him a round of applause, Senator Dean Skelos. Assemblywoman Ellen Jaffee and all our Assembly colleagues, it's a pleasure to be with you, the county executives, the mayors who are here today, Marcia Gordon, Al Samuels, Ross Pepe, who you heard introduced already. And we had three great former county executives who haven't been introduced, who were very helpful to us in communicating this project to the people of the county. County Executive Al Del Bello, County Executive Andy Spano, and County Executive Andy O'Rourke. Let's give them a round of applause. And all my other colleagues from state government and local government who are here, it's a pleasure to be with all of you. 18 months ago, New York State was in trouble. Businesses were leaving, people were leaving. There was a sense that New York's best days were behind it. It was a situation where government wasn't leading, government wasn't functioning. It was political gridlock meets bureaucratic incompetence. And you could feel it all across the state. The energy was down, the confidence was down, and our ability to get things done was suffering. To me, the Tappan Zee Bridge was a perfect metaphor for that type of dysfunction. About 13 years ago, State of New York stood up and said, we're going to build a new bridge, that the Tappan Zee is outdated, the Tappan Zee is unsafe, the Tappan Zee has too much congestion. It's not worth it economically to try to fix the Tappan Zee because it's outdated. 13 years ago, that's what the government said. And then every day since then was Groundhog Day. Same conversation over and over and over. We'll have a meeting, we'll have a discussion, another report, another finding. And it went on for 13 years. Think of how many hours in traffic have been wasted by how many people sitting on that bridge. How many millions of dollars were wasted patching and fixing the bridge. How much pollution by the hour after hour after hour of traffic on that bridge. What a waste. When government fails, it hurts people. When government fails, it hurts the state. And there's two types of failure. There's an obvious affirmative failure, and then there's just the failure of leadership, the failure to do nothing. The decision to do nothing is a decision. Indecision can be a decision. We decided to do nothing. No, we decided to continue to operate the old Tappan Zee Bridge. We decided to waste millions. We decided to put people through traffic and congestion and pollution. That's what we did. It was a failure of leadership, a failure of government, and in many ways a metaphor for the failure that New York State overall was doing time and time again. Well, that was yesterday, and this is today. And there is a different spirit and a different energy in New York today. This state legislature, my colleagues in the Senate, my colleagues in the Assembly, and I got together 18 months ago, and we said, you know what? Let's try it a different way. Let's put the politics aside. Yes, we're Democrats. Yes, we're Republicans. But we are New Yorkers first. And let's operate like New Yorkers. And let's find commonality, not differences. And let's find out how to get to yes and how to make things work. And let's find the solution. And let's stop raising problem after problem after problem. And let's find ways to actually make things go forward. And it's a different day. The state's passing budgets. The state's passing legislation. We just completed the most successful legislative session in modern political history. And it's a different day for the Tappan Zee. All those years of delay are a thing of the past. We've made more progress in the past few months than we made in 13 years, and that's the truth. We passed a piece of legislation called Design Build, which is going to be a fundamentally different way for the state of New York to pursue this project. We're going to go to a private contractor with the responsibility for both the design and the build of the bridge. So there'll be one contract, one price, and then it's up to the contractor to design it and to build it. We went about it in a different way in terms of consulting with the community. We had dozens of meetings on both sides of the river to find out what people wanted, what people were thinking. As the Assemblywoman said, we not only had the meetings, we actually listened. You know, you can have a meeting, you can have a conversation, but not really listen. Well, we listened, we heard, and I believe the plan we have today is a better plan for the input that we had. We've asked the federal government to expedite the approvals, and they have. We completed the FEIS. We responded to the comments. And the next step now is to go to Washington and apply for a federal loan to make sure that we can build the bridge and we can keep the tolls affordable. And that's the next obstacle for us to overcome, and we will. What makes it extraordinary is how many people worked together to make this possible. And I once again want to congratulate all the people who have worked so long and so hard on this project. Our friends in the private sector, Al Samuels, Marcia Gordon, Ross Pepe, the former county executives, the current county executives, the senators, the assemblymen, the people who are on my team, Larry Schwartz, who did an outstanding job. Let's give him a round of applause. The whole team at the Thruway Authority, and our newest member of the team, our superstar, Brian Coneybear. I want to thank him for all he did. And most of all, I want to congratulate the people of the Mid-Hudson, because this is going to be a great accomplishment. And it's going to be a great accomplishment for the entire state. But it's going to be a jewel on the Hudson that's going to make this beautiful river even more special. And it'll help the people in the Mid-Hudson area economically, from a traffic commuting point of view, and from an aesthetic point of view. Congratulations to all of you. It's my pleasure to be part of it. Let's sign that loan. And now, Washington, the next step is a Washington federal loan so we can get to work. Thank you and congratulations.
We need 2 chairs.
Congratulations.
Well done. You saw it happen right there, folks. That is the letter to the federal government requesting a $2 billion loan to help us make the new Tappan Zee Bridge a reality. We are moving forward. It is going to happen. That concludes the program right now, but you are all invited inside for refreshments. Please join us right inside the restaurant next door.